Welcome to Lost Without Japan, a podcast based on Japan and your lost without moments. Go ahead and grab your favorite beverage, pull up a bar stool, and join your Nomikai friends as we get ready for today's episode of Good Times.
Welcome to what I believe at least is our 10th episode of Good Times, where we catch up, hang out. I mean, at this point in time, probably need to change this opening, David. Just, because it's been ongoing for a while now. I mean, like 10 months or whatever this has been of time of going. I'll have to check when our first episode dropped, do some sort of like 1 year celebration or something. But go ahead and pull up a bar stool to join David and myself in Good Times. Maurice is busy with things that are going on in life that probably pay him money. But I mean, the exposure that he gets from the show, I mean, can't beat that either. But he said he's looking to be back next episode if all works out. And I'm going to try to do my job as host and get our date out sooner than just 2 weeks before. So maybe David and I will sit down here once we're done and figure out where we want to be, what date we want to do ahead of time. So Good Times is available to all your favorite podcasting services. And I will say just something really briefly. If you follow the show on Patreon, it helps us out. It's great. I'm going to look to add more over the summer. That might be some content where I'm going to kick around with these fine gentlemen a chance to maybe we can talk a little bit longer after we are done and get back together. Have like a 10-minute time, a 15-minute time, something that is, you know, there's something additional to add. Us chatting, hanging out, doing all those different cool things. So that's it, my friends. That is it. Also, you have some extra perks, a free sticker, one thing to mention. But other than that, one thing I wanted to say is if you're following the show from a streaming service such as Spotify, you're going to find some episodes that are missing. If you follow the show on Spotify, they've been pulling my episodes. I have more than 100 and something episodes. I've lost track of what it is. But a lot of my early episodes and even some recent ones, I've included music at the end. And it's just something that I picked up from different past podcasts that I listened to, a way to expose people to music that's there. And being the fact that I don't make any money off of what I'm doing, I am so in a deficit every year when it comes to what I do for the show. It's like, it's just, but they've started going through and they must have some sort of AI thing that's going on. So anything that has music to it that isn't just my show opening, which I have paid for and come up with, is getting pulled. So you might want to join another streaming service if you're wondering why the numbers don't match up or you're going back to listen to past episodes and they're not there. So just something to get on. So hanging out in Hiroshima right now, I want to start things off with a potential sponsor of the show. They may be listening. I want to bring it to us. David, our sponsor for today's show, was brought to us by some recent spring cleaning that I did by myself. I was cleaning and playing around with my kitchen, like trying to get things down. And David, I have been at my place for a long time, and I put like some bottles that I liked of different Japanese whiskeys and things that I liked. I'd put up on top. I don't have anyone besides myself and my kids that are here. No one else that's living with me that would be like, this looks horrible. Don't put that there. But I had a bunch of boxes that were up on top, and I thought, David, they were all empty. Well, I began pulling down some things to throw these boxes and bottles away because I'm just like, Mike, you're not like a young 30-year-old like I was when I first moved into this place. And I don't even know that they're like noticed that they're there. So I was pulling everything down and I found a Suntory 12-year bottle, unopened at the time, of whiskey that has probably been up there, David, for 5 years. So this isn't a 12-year bottle of Centauri whiskey. It's like a 17. Because I remember buying this as a Father's Day gift to myself when these bottles were closer to, I want to say it was like 130 US. And now, David, these bottles are like over $200 US. I'm not buying them anymore, but I have this one. So today's sponsor of the show, brought to you from Spring Cleaning, is Suntory, the Yamazaki single malt Japanese whiskey aged 12 years. And as we all know, for relaxing times, make it Suntory times. Welcome back, David. How you doing, my friend? Did you
Well,
recently find a, over $200 bottle of whiskey in your house when you're cleaning?
no, just $20 in my pocket of like old shorts. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
It was good.
No, that's a pretty good find if you ask me.
Yes.
Hey, look, we are actually sponsored by Suntory. It's most probably a little bit early for me, but here we
I
are.
like
We
it.
have the 19 oh zero. Not zero. What am I talking about? 196.
6.
Yes, minus.
Look at that. We didn't even plan that. Cheers, my friend. Cheers.
Not even a one. Yeah, cheers.
But we are, my friend, nearing that summertime and hoping, like, I'm definitely going to have some more time. So I'm going to try to get in some video episodes, at least for our Patreon members and hopefully back up for ourselves so we can show some things off. I've been kind of putting off that video editing and things just because of everything that's going on. I won't go too much into the weeds of things, but my classes have been put off a bit because our Illinois State Board of Education is dragging their feet, my friend, on approving my classes that I need to take to get my new certification. So I'm hoping that gets remedied quickly. But I have a bunch of things rolling into the summer that I was kind of over spring break, spring cleaning that I was doing. And one of the things that happened, I will share a little bit later. I'm always one. Let's bring the positive first before you start bringing the negative, and then follow that negative by another positive. So I'm going to try to sandwich positive, negative, positive, and I'm going to start off with a positive, and that is the Lunar RPG re-release. This is like a 1990 JRPG. It was on PlayStation. I owned it. I had like the box with all the different, like the special collector's edition box, and I've traded it back in years ago. And I try not to look at the fact that the game sells for like at least $150, if not close to $300 for the game for the original one at least. you know, we all do cool stuff. The things that I hold on to aren't worth anything, and the things I got rid of were there. But I've been playing that re-release, my friend. And the cool thing is, it's not the original company that came out with it because they're not around anymore. And I honestly thought I'd never get to play the game again unless I just dropped $150 and bought a PlayStation 2, right? Like, to be able to play the game again. But they re-released it, and you can play it one of two ways. You can play the original version, which shows like the original graphics as if you were playing it, and then they have cleaned up a version where it's like they kind of remastered it. And the normal gameplay, you can see a bit of a difference, but it's like the cutscenes and things that are pretty darn cool. And for $40, you get both games. There's like a Lunar and a Lunar 2. If you are a fan of JRPGs and grinding and all the stuff that comes with those in more of a classic style, I cannot recommend it enough. I think you'd have a grand time playing it. So that's what I'm going to start off with, David. Sharing a little bit of positive. What are some positives you can share, my friend?
That my So I got two things. So
All
you know
this.
how I was um spoke about the Beta Gundam box that I brought skyrocketing in price. So
Uh, do you have like a tap out point, David? Do you have like a? I know because like you bought it, right? And are you gonna hold on to this? Just hold on to this, or is there like a level like it hits this point and it's gone. Like I've sold it, and this is helping to go towards something else.
Um, Look, this is gonna be just like everything else I do, like invest in. I hold for too long and it like crashes. So,
You know,
so
that's why you fit in the show so well, David. That's why.
it was really funny because I invested like into the NFTs, like only just a little bit, but that little bit skyrocketed to just under 50 grand uh Australian. So and then I left it for too long and it just went back to normal price what I paid for it. So yep. So also too, like I have a couple of the One Piece cards that I have are actually climbing in price too. One for like good example is the Gold Law Don that I have.
Okay.
If anyone knows what they're talking about, I would pull it out now, but it's in the case. So yeah, it's definitely a rare card to get. So hard to pull, and you can't pull them anymore. So hence why they're climbing up right now to 320 Australian.
Okay. Okay.
So that's not too bad. It's still pretty expensive card. So
Well, we
yeah.
can we could talk about the Gundam, buddy, afterwards, and I can help set a point for you. I can do an intervention for you, David. Just, we can figure out a point together. Then I'll follow up with you and just be like, David, have you sold the card yet? Like, the Gundam things.
Yeah,
Um,
you're watching the prices, you're like,
that's right. That's right. I do that for you, buddy. That's what
yeah.
friends do.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, look, I'll just send you the box and you just get rid of it for me
that's
or
right. That's right.
split it. Because I know it's
Uh,
better than zero, so
No, it's well, my negative, David, is actually one of those things. Like I uh back in my day trip episodes when I could spend more time on them. I spending like 2 months on an episode. Like where I was doing like probably a month and a half of research and then recording and editing. I used to put in a lot of like references to Airbnb and like
Mhm.
pricing and like good Airbnbs that you could go through. Um, I've talked numerous times. My son and I have talked about it. I talked about it with people that I've traveled with before. Even like as of November, December, January, like when my son was traveling in Japan on his own, and then when I was able to join him in winter, um, I had like still a decent experience with Airbnb. We ended up booking a place that was the air conditioner was filled with mold, and the guy that we rented the place from was trying to. It was like a hotel, David. So there's like no one at the hotel, but this person owns probably like this like small, non no one's actually their staffed place to stay at, and they were trying to just have somebody come out and wipe down the mold you could see, which isn't going to take care of anything. Like the mold's still going to be through everything that you have, like in the AC and probably elsewhere. But they were able to, like, I called and they were like, yeah, we'll get you elsewhere. Like the guy doesn't give you your money back. We'll give you your money back. Let's try to book it, do whatever. They were very supportive. We let them know when I left. Like they were great. And that had been my experiences more often than not. I had a negative experience with them as too, but I think that's like something you could have anywhere. Like if you don't read the fine print, you don't read the like when you can cancel a booking by, and you just assume that you can cancel everything you're booking, and it turns out you can't, because not everybody had in their listing you can. But my son was looking to go this summer, and he was doing what I like to do too, which is book as far out in advance as possible. So you can find a place. He found an amazing place that was in Tokyo, great location, great price. And he booked out and he put down, I want to say like $676, which was half of what his time was going to be. And I'm not saying don't book with Airbnb. I'm just going to share the experience I had with what my son had and what I had as well. You do what you want to do. They can be, I'm sure, like a great service for others. I'm just going to share mine. I have found out, David, that they don't have like the customer service is not this. I think they've outsourced their customer service, so it's no
oh
longer
no.
Airbnb that's doing customer service. It's a whole separate company that's doing it. So the people you're talking to have very limited power when it comes to anything, and they have to
Mm,
follow things completely as to what the actual Airbnb company has told them they can and can't do. So
yep.
even if you talk to a supervisor, and I feel like even if I called saying I had a place with mold, I'd just be out the money. Like I don't know that they can really do anything anymore. So
Mm,
in the listing for my son, the gentleman that was in Japan, that has other listings that are there, basically stated, "Hey, if you cancel within the first 48 hours, I'll give you all your money back." And if you cancel before, it was like August something, which was more than like it's more than 4 months away. I'll give you half your money back. So Sam knew he was already out the $676, but he's hoping to get 300 something dollars back. It's a lot of money for me. But it's a lot of money for a kid going to college, right? And a not so kid, a
definitely.
young adult, I should say, going to college. It's a ton of money. And the guy claimed hardship, the person that the host, despite it being in their listing. And this gentleman, David, had more than 4 months to rebook this place. Was said a hardship. I don't know that I can book this again. A place in Tokyo when currently Japan has reached 10 million visitors to the quickest ever. Like is this year. And I'm sure next year we'll be reaching that 10 million mark even quicker than this one. Rebooking's not an issue. And if you have in your listing that you will give someone your money back, you should, right? It's because it's there. But apparently they have something new where it's like, hey, I can claim hardship on this more than 4 months. I can't get past that point that it was more than 4 months. It's not like my son had 2 weeks before the booking even, said, hey, I need to cancel this. I'd understand it then. But he called and tried handling all of this on his own. And he finally was at a point where he's like, Dad, take over for me. And I'm like, cool. I got you, son. So I spent 4.5 hours, David, on the phone with various people.
Mhm.
And the amount of um, things that I was told that were inaccurate, and they're trying to tell you is the fact, for like again, was a lot. And again, some of this might be the truth as to what it is, but it's not the right way to run a business. Um, the supervisors that I was talking to were all trying to say that there's no one higher than them, which is baloney. Like, you have a boss that you go to, unless you're the CEO of the company, there's somebody above you, David. You know what I mean? Like, there's somebody
100%.
above you. Um, one gentleman that I talked to was trying to get to send, like, I was trying to say, like, my son was going to be there this summer. I'm going to have the procedure I was talking about before that I wasn't able to. And I was like, hey, man, like, part of why he's staying behind is to be there for me. The other part is he wants more time with his friends. But I'm like, I'm like, this is what's going on. And so they're trying to have me send David uncensored my medical stuff that would show like my social security number, all my medical information, all the information about the procedure that I have, and I couldn't blot any of it out, is what I was told. And then suddenly, the gentleman I was talking to, I'm like, this makes no sense. I'm like, you don't have HIPAA in place. You don't deal with health things. You've been hacked before,
Mm,
and so I have no clue how that you guys are gonna. I have no promise that you're gonna end up deleting this after I send it, like this information and things that you're requesting. And I ended up basically getting disconnected by that person. I wasn't, yelling, I wasn't using profanity, was just trying to be like, have a conversation with this person. And I called back, got somebody else. And that person, David, told me that person, the previous supervisor I'd been talking to, was just basically giving me false hope to get me off the line so that he wouldn't have
mm,
to talk to me anymore. So he's basically saying, like, he knew personally that this was not going to happen. I could send him all this information, but there's no refund that was going to happen. They're just getting me off the line, right?
yep, yep.
Rather than dealing with
Keeping you
you.
busy.
Yeah, like, rather than dealing with you or just being upfront and saying, hey, there's nothing I can do. You're out the money. This is the policy. Like, if they claim hardship, we can't get your money back if you've canceled your listing. And So if he would have just been upfront and that's what it was, I would have been like, well, lesson learned. I'm not going to use your service again personally. Again, I'm sure still have great things that they can do, but I'm not going to use it. My son wouldn't use it. I started talking to the other person, David. He told me this, and I flipped out. Like I again kept it very professional, but I was just like, this is a poor way to run everything. And basically, I finally lost connection with them due to my phone going completely dead. Like I went through a whole 100% to zero battery talking to these
Oh my
people.
goodness.
Um, and finally, I had 4 different people message through the app. One of them said, very politely, "There's nothing we can do. These are the policies in place. We apologize for this, but there's nothing that we can do to refund you your money." But very
Mhm.
polite, professional. Another person messaged and was as rude, David, as you could possibly be in a message, and just basically just being as like just rude as possible about the whole thing. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not going to do anything. There's, like, it was just, I was like, I can't believe this is a real message from like anybody. And then I get a third message, and none of these people, David, are talking to each other. None of them
Oh,
have any idea
no.
that they're
They're
talking. You know what I mean?
all
Like it's all
sorting out the
just set.
case.
Yeah, yeah. It's all separate people. And then I get a
Wow.
third person that was like that sounded like the original people that you'd have
Mhm.
talked to, like when you called, and they're like, we'll refund you your money. And I was like, after 4.5 hours of like various people saying there's nothing they could do, nothing they have. And so as soon as it cleared and my son saw he had his money back, I just messaged that person back and I said, I appreciate everything that you've done. Thank you. Okay to end chat. And then I went back to those other 2 people that I didn't do anything to. I'm like, I'm not touching anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm not ending chats. I'm not saying the case is closed. I just went back to them. Case is closed. But yeah, man, like, uh, I'm not saying not use Airbnb, but I just want to say, like, listen to my experience and decide upon yourself like what services you want to use. But that was my kind of negative with a little bit of positive. I'm glad that Sam, like Sam, was able to get his money back from what happened. But man, that just uh, yeah, made me personally know that I'm going to be looking elsewhere when I go to do my bookings in the future, my friend.
Yeah, like me personally, I don't really use Airbnb just because I don't know, not something I really got into, and I've heard some stories very similar.
It was
So,
great. Yeah, it was great in the past. Like I said, like when I went with my buddies and like when I went by myself in 2017, 2019,
mhm,
it's a great place to get like a nice apartment or a decent sized place and share with your friends, kind of like split the cost.
yeah,
And it was, but I'm like, man, they're like when your customer service is not, where it needs to be, I'm like, I just can't be out that money. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it just, I'm not there. Um, on a more positive express, so sorry for that rant on Airbnb. I wish I could almost go back and do what Spotify's doing right now and clearing all of the episodes that have music out. I almost wish I'd go back and like just remove my episodes that had my recommendations, for it. But another positive, because I did want to get back to a positive here, my friend, is I watched the movie called Chungking Express, and it is not a Japanese movie, but is a Asian cinematic movie. And David, I know, like I kind of have like on and off again, movies where I had like a series of movies that weren't great. This one, on the other hand, buddy, was fantastic, and I went from like digitally owning it to physically ordering like the 4K copy of it. And it is amazing. And I'm sure that some people already are aware of this movie. And there's others like myself, like that may not be, but the director's Wong Kar Wai. And I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly as I have a ton of other things. Um, but he has a series of movies that are kind of like relationship movies. And as far as relationship movies go, this is probably the most like entry level. If you've not watched his other movies, probably the easiest to like first start watching in regards to his others. And it's basically about 2 different cops that are, going through different relationship things. And I won't go too much into it, but it's a perfect length for a movie too. I love movies that are like, around an hour and a half, hour 40. Like
Agreed.
anything below 2 hours is perfect for me, man,
Yep.
especially the nearer to hour and a half that it can be, like, the better. I don't know why I can watch anime and watch, like, 13 episodes that are 23 minutes apiece and be fine, but, like, for some reason, like, a lot of movies aren't, at least in my opinion, like, they're not succinct, they're not, like, what you need to. But there is, a soundtrack this to the movie, which I absolutely love. There's so many different like the casting in this movie from top to bottom was amazing. There's so many different stories that are in it, and the only thing I could say is like, if you watch this movie, you need to give it its your full attention. It's a Hong Kong movie, but it's not one you can half like pay attention. Like you can't be painting models like I like to do, and watch this movie. That won't work because there's so much going on. Just fantastic though. But like I said, there's two different relationships things that are going on. One part of the movie is one cop, the second is another. But the Faye, who's in this as well, the second relationship, second cop thing that goes on is amazing, my man. And like the movie kind of ends, you kind of make of it what you want to make of it, which is pros and cons. Like I like a movie that just ends, and I see this as how it ends. But this one, like, it's kind of funny to go on to like Reddit and see what other people think. And I have a different thought, to that, you know. But it was great, man. I can't recommend it enough. I messaged Maurice, and if he was on today, because at one point he was potentially going to be on with us, I was going to give him a hard time about not recommending this movie because he does that. He has great movies and he doesn't share them with anybody. So when Maurice, you listen to this, I'm roasting you right now. I'm giving you a hard time
I'm doing
now.
it right now.
Yeah, yeah, right now. To our three listeners, they're gonna know that Maurice doesn't, like share the movies, man. Doesn't share the movies. So next time he's on, we'll give him a hard time for that. David, have you had any, I know you've been collecting some monies and things like that, my friend, off of your investments, but have you had any tournaments or other, One Piece things, Gundam things, whatever you have in your conquest of the world going on?
Um, so in terms of Gumden, they had the like sample tournament. So like Bandai sent the card shop pretty much like demo decks, so people can actually just get the grasp of the game, and it's actually pretty good. Like I like the attack system, and just how the game runs with the resources and everything. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing a little bit of Gundam because yeah, like I was just saying just before, um, just like the play style is pretty cool. It's like how you can equip a pilot to an actual unit, and that just like buffers, like just makes it stronger and has different abilities and really cool. So I'm looking forward to that when that releases.
And because you
Um,
said, like with One Piece, like a bit of it, it's kind of had like a meta, that's kind of set, had been set for a while. So I'm sure
mhm,
getting to play something new,
yep.
and figure it out with everybody else is going to be kind of fun.
Yeah, with One Piece too, like the meta has now changed. It's a little bit more spread out now.
Okay.
Um, and the good thing is, like, I've made it hard for myself. I'm currently using Caesar Clown as the leader. So, and boy, oh boy, I can tell you it is a tricky deck to navigate. Not to work around, but just not enough support cards for it.
Okay.
And I'm dare say the leader was just released in OPO 10, um, there's still cards to be released. I'm pretty sure Bandai has a plan for its newly released cards. So, but yeah, just haven't been doing too crazy with the tournaments.
Okay.
So, but I've been kind of placing. maybe fourth. But yeah, like I said, I'm versing killers. These people go to yeah, they're just insane. I'm just like, how the fuck do they remember all these? Like, they're pretty much like I try to build my deck from like scratch type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't look at like a. I sometimes might have a look what's working in a certain like deck on the like on the internet. Um, but yeah, normally I just try to put all the cards on the floor and just cook away and just see what I can come up with. With this Caesar Clown deck, would have been. I think I've rebuilt it 4 times now,
Okay.
and it's at a decent place right now. So it does what it needs to do. So, but yeah, more support cards would be nice. Um, yeah, but with Gundam again, going back to that. So when I'm in Japan, they're gonna have the Gundam release. So I really want to find a place that has like a promo card that I can collect or something. So that'd be really cool. So, and also on another note too, because when I'm there in Japan, I'm going to be there for. Oh, this is a great story. So when I went there for Christmas and New Year's, they were advertising the World Fair in Osaka, and I was like, "Damn, I want to go to that." And we planned this trip coming up in July. And then I looked at how long the World Fair is going to be on for, and it's going to be on. It's already been out for like maybe 2.5 weeks now. And it goes up to October. So, turns out I'm going to be there, and we have tickets. Yay!
Dude, that's gonna be
So,
outstanding, man. I can't wait to hear about that. That seems like that's an easy thing to forget about. There's a World's Fair to begin with, but I
yeah.
remember there's different times, like in the past, I've read about it, or like the ones that were in Chicago, or different
Mhm.
things. I'm like, that sounds fantastic, my man.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing too is, one of the earlier things that I got into, like Japan. I don't think I've ever mentioned it, but I have a little stamp from 1972 when the World Fair was hosted in Osaka.
Okay.
Um, and it was from like the Australian stand, so it was kind of Australian and Japanese little postage stamp. Let's see if I can pull it up one day. So just dig it out of the container. So,
Uh,
um,
Now's the time to sell it, David. Now's the time to
wait,
sell it.
well, actually, you might be onto something. But the other thing too is just like because I reckon the 70s would have been a pretty cool place,
Yeah.
or I don't know, 70s, 80s, even 90s were pretty cool. So, but yeah, 70s I was always like really fascinated. If I had a time machine, I would have gone back and just walked around and just kind of soaked it up. But yeah, so when I saw like, I was like, how cool would it be to be in Osaka for World Fair like in 1972?
It's a
Um,
flex, buddy. It's gonna be a flex.
yeah. So, what I mean? What's the next best thing? World Fair in 2025 in Osaka. So, yeah, so I can't believe that got tickets for it, and we booked a place because originally we weren't going to stay in Osaka. We're just going to go straight past it. But we just made a um night stay. Just go to World Fair and then after that head off to Fukuoka.
Dude, that sounds fantastic, my man. That's so cool. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that myself. Not that I can get there unless I win the lotto, but man, that'd be something cool to share. When you get back, I'm like, we're gonna have to definitely have you, share about that, my friend. That's good. That's amazing though, man. That's gonna be so cool,
Yeah.
so cool.
Also too, they said I've read on the internet that it's the biggest thing to happen in Japan for the next 20 years.
That's yeah, no doubt about it, man. That's no doubt
So
about it.
I'm just like, whoa, because they spent a lot of money on the full thing. So um, yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. That's a nice little thing that's actually worked out. So I get to see.
I'm gonna have to have
Um,
you, give us some more information about it next time. Like a little more
oh,
information about the World's Fair, like as it gets closer, like what you might be doing.
And they also have like a Gundam thing. I think that's the main point why I brought it up. They have
That's
like a
even
little
better.
like a full thing set up there. So hopefully they're giving it promo cards there.
That'd be one to have. That'd be like,
Things
yeah,
first.
man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's when you wear a different shirt and a different hat and walk on up and go.
Excuse me.
I'm Mike from Chicago. I have a podcast. I would like a second promo card, please.
Yeah, yeah. That yeah, and it's like it's a poorly disguise.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
mm, I
I
think I
like
recognize you.
the baseball.
Yeah, the baseball is
Go,
cool.
go, Cubs, go!
And I'm reading from like a palm script, just like a little piece of paper in my head.
Trying not to sweat. What does it say now? What does it say?
Yeah. Oh.
Uh, That's
Uh,
awesome, man. Like um so excited for you, my friend. That's gonna be great. Can't wait to hear about it. I do have one thing that you saying Japan though made me remember because I would have forgotten.
mhm,
But my son and I were able to catch the Dodgers were in town this last Tuesday.
mhm.
And I say like 2 Tuesdays ago. And Otani was in town and it was right after the birth of his first child, and they're going up against our like one of our ace pitchers. So they had you know like you have all this different stuff. I'm talking to people that I know in Japan. They're like, yeah, it's on a bunch of channels here, the game, like just because it's Otani and the Dodgers. And we had Shoto Imanaga, who's another Japanese player pitcher for the Cubs, and we were at the game. It was amazing. The Cubs pulled off a win, like 11-10, in extra innings. Bottom of the 12th inning was the first walk off where my son got to see, somebody get a hit, score a run, and have it in the game. And we stayed for the whole thing. It was electric, even though it was April. We probably picked one of the most beautiful days to go on. It was like 60s. Hoodie was enough for you for Fahrenheit's, not Celsius. And
It's like 60.
and like we
Jesus.
didn't need anything but it was my friend like getting to be able to see Otani play in his prime. And I'm sure he has more prime coming. But I only got to see Ichiro Suzuki like back when he was at the tail end of his career, like right before he retired. So getting to see him now, getting to see a Cubs win, was fantastic and made me miss Japanese baseball even more. And like we're driving away, and my son and I are talking like, "Hey, when I'm finally in Hiroshima, I'm gonna have a Carp season ticket package, buddy, and I'm gonna be going to a ton of baseball games when I'm there." But just made me think about the whole thing and just being, making the most of your time. I got some time before I can go back to Japan, but we can still have some connections, concerts or otherwise, and stuff like that. But it was great game. Cubs win. Cubs win. So it was great.
Very nice. Also too, um, when you're in Japan, that'll be awesome. I'll go to a baseball game with you. I have to.
No, 100%, my friend. I told my son, even if it's just me when I move there, I'm gonna get season tickets for two people,
Yeah,
just so I can pull friends in the area and people that visit to a game. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I'll go by myself. I don't care. Like my son, but if my son's happens to still be living in Japan, and I hope he is, he's looking right now. He's gonna do his full load, full time class thing uh, the, for his college next, for starting the summer. He just finished up some classes. Gonna get to look his associates done in probably like 2 years ish, and then move to Japan and do some language school there for Tokyo. So I'm hoping he meets somebody, David. Selfishly, he meets somebody there. Just got to move there, got to stay there. He can have tickets up in Tokyo to like the Swallows. I can have some tickets there. Can go back and forth. Watch some games together. So selfishly, I hope
Mhm.
for that, my friend. It's gonna. But yes, David,
You
we
never
will
know what can
catch a
happen.
baseball game together. We have some things to look forward to. I know it, my man.
Yeah. How exciting is that, the future, I mean, like, when you just put your mind to it, you just, like, you can organize anything and
Yeah,
just
100%. And
Cool.
And like that 9 years for me, like after this school year that's wrapping up here really shortly, because end of May, like I'm a little, about a month away from being out. Um, but how cool, knowing, 9 years from now, David, um, if not sooner, if I can wing it somehow. But at least 9 years from now, I'll be Japan based and have a place for you to come visit. That'd be great, man. Be great.
That'll be
So
so cool. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, when you look back at it, like that somehow I ended up on the podcast. Don't know how. um, and then that would lead to that. You know what I mean? That would be absolutely crazy. Like
100%. Yeah,
anything
yeah,
is
yeah.
possible.
Like
So
the amount of things that needed to happen to get to that point.
yeah.
It's like meant to be, buddy, meant to be. I wanted to share one of the things I saw. Like I was going to pull up some, unless you have some other stuff to go through. I wanted to share a real quick Sora News 24. Um,
Yep.
it was this just dropped, like literally right before we picked up. But it's Tokyo Shrine host event for anime fans who are ready to let go and recycle their character, like anime character keychains, standees, those type of things. So, like, I guess this is an annual event in Akihabara, so Tokyo, in Akihabara, which like is a lot where a lot of this place could be sold to begin with. But hundreds of pieces of anime merch were collected, um, and you can buy like an omamari, a good luck charm, normally be what you're getting from here. But you instead, you get to kind of like take these things to the shrine, hand it over, and it's going to be disposed of in a dignified manner. This it would just be a cool thing to see just in person. Like I don't know how they're disposing of it, if it's like recycling or whatever. Um, but the standees, the keychains and things, um, it's pretty cool that they're doing that. And they have the station. It's like a 10-minute walk from Akihabara, so it is just known as the Acrylic Appreciation Festival, where they're able to turn in this merch that they no longer desire, so it can be recycled. And they have some pictures of this. People kind of some sliding some things, into this like recycling box and stuff like that. Um, and like for some of the stuff, like some of it like could be things you resell, if
Mhm.
prices are there. But like this could be stuff that's just like, hey, it's not worth anything. And especially if you have a smaller place, and with it's hard to just you can't just really throw anything away you want in Japan. So you have a whole nother layer of things to have this happen. Kind of cool, man. Kind of cool. So if you have anything, David, that you're holding on to and you don't know what to do, maybe it's still going. Like when you're there in Japan, you can go from like World's Fair to recycling some acrylic standees.
Mm. I could do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh,
That'd be pretty funny. Um, yeah. I don't know. Do you want me to? I've talk about Japan stuff about what the trip that I'm going on.
whatever you want to do, man. We're just hanging out, bud. Like I said, I just wanted to hang out with you. This is
Because it's
like,
almost booked
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
fully
yeah.
booked.
Because,
So.
but it's like part of the reason I like doing this is just getting to hang out with you and
Yeah,
more
yeah,
recent stuff like that. So, like this is the fun episode, bud. So, so yeah, whatever you want to chat about,
yeah. I'm gonna be driving in Japan.
that's gonna be
So for the first like 2 days, we're gonna hire a car. So that should be fun. And also easy. It's no different
because you're
than here.
you
So
drive on the wrong side of the road too, right?
oh, why do people say that? To me, it's the right side.
I'm just giving you a hard time, David. I would much rather us be driving on the what I would determine to be the correct side of the road, so that when I did visit Japan, it was just like hop in the car and go, not like me going, I'm about to die when I have this like going to turn and having things be
Yeah.
completely incorrect. So no, I'm jealous of you for going to
Um,
drive, number one, but number two, not having it be like, I mean, it's a big deal to drive in Japan while you're there. It's going to be huge, but it's not a big deal as terms of like I'm just going to drive the car like I do normally.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
jealous,
yeah,
Dave.
yeah. So I'm very thankful for that because I don't know, like, because I've been in a couple right hand because people import cars from, let's say, like America here, America to here. Sorry, not Anyway, so yeah, like I'd driven a couple of right-hand drives, and it is just so odd. Like you're just like, oh my god, yeah, it just feels weird. So, but yeah, no, that'll be cool experience driving in Japan. And just I like it how I can just stop on the way. If we see something, have a look at it.
That's
Not like a Shinkansen. You just drive and you're like you just see that thing just whiz by you like at like 200 k's an hour, and you're like, oh, that would be
like
pretty cool to
and
see.
talk about like I mean like if you can remove like having to be near the train stations, like you're also
Yep.
going to probably remove yourself from a lot of tourism,
Hmm.
tourists, and things like that, and maybe have some better experiences because we've not in like people that are visiting haven't exactly brought a lot of like positive ness to other people that are following right now and going to visit. So that's gonna be amazing, but that's, like, on my top of my things, like, once I move and live there, I wanna get, like, one of those camper vans, like a small camper van that would
Hmm.
fit, like, 2 Japanese or 1 me, and, just go in the fall, like, or,
Hmm.
when it's temperatures that I like to be around and just travel around and see what I can see, so, um, yeah, man,
Yeah,
that's
nice.
awesome. 2 things to talk about then, bud. You're gonna have to start charging for your appearances now.
Yeah, yeah, right. No, yeah, this is fun. So, um, what else am I doing on the trip? That's pretty cool. Not sure. I'm going to the what do we call it? Let me bring it up because I can't remember. It's it says like the world's oldest hotel. Did I mention that last time?
Yeah. That's gonna be with like the onsen and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, so that's what I'm driving to. So, that should be really cool. Um, and yeah, going to Korea for 4 nights and flying back, and then yeah, doing the rest of the trip. So, yeah, I reckon it'll be cool. Very excited.
Korea.
This is going to be very like this trip's going to be packed full of stuff. I'm kind of overwhelmed in to some
Yeah,
degree. So,
yeah, the Korea portion stuff. You're gonna beat me there too, my friend. It's on my list, but I keep on just going back to Japan.
hmm.
So like next time I go is gonna be with my daughter,
Hmm.
and then whatever time follows that, I'm gonna be adding on Korea and like some other places, Japan plus a couple other places on that visit when it's just me,
Yep, yep, yep.
go do some things that I haven't done, but man, I just keep on going back. So, yeah,
Well,
buddy,
I
there's gonna be
see
a lot of
why.
things I'm gonna
Um,
ask. I've been in Korea, but it was the airport, so it doesn't. I mean, counts, but doesn't count. You know.
yep. Um,
Um,
yes. Sorry. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
um,
You continue.
I just like while you're thinking, if you remember, I just wanted to continue on. So 7-Eleven apparently, David. I don't know if it's going to be there when you're there,
Hmm.
but apparently 7-Eleven Japan has added orange chicken to its range of food products that it offers in Japan. And that'd be I would consider like a Panda Express, like United States type thing. I don't know, how wide ranging orange chicken is elsewhere in the world.
Like
uh
the color orange or the like flavor orange?
that
Or
just
both.
tells me all you need to know, buddy. It's just a US thing. So it does have a little bit of an orange flavor, but it's kind of like a sweet and sour, sauce, like looking sauce. I don't know if you have the sweet and
Hmm.
sour chicken. We have like that sauce. Maybe that's not it there either, David. But it's like the syrupy sauce that's kind of spicy, a little bit of orange flavoring to it. I like the sweet and sour. I like the orange chicken, but none of it's good for you. But that's like some people like that visit America and come back. That might be something where they're like, hey, something that they remember, and have that they haven't had. But it is like you're like having this different stuff. It's here, and they show like pictures for the 7-Eleven cup deli. Uh, so just something, and it's part of its World Cuisine Expo campaign. So, like on English, it says chicken and orange sauce. and the Japanese basically just says, like orange chicken. But being the connoisseur that some people might be, it's small, like a small little container. It almost looks like dipping sauce level
Yep.
of like amount of orange chicken that you have. But I'm sure that's like an actual serving size. Like like maybe it's here, but um, like people that have had it say it has been altered slightly to fit more of a Japanese taste. But it still tastes apparently like the real thing. So, David, if they're still running this event when you get there, the world, kind of food campaign, apparently it's around $2.26 US right now with the conversion rate and things like that. Like 321 yen. So nothing that's of anything that's here. But if you're walking around and you want to taste a little bit of America in Japan,
Yep.
David,
Almost sounds like a movie.
have
America in
some
Japan.
have some orange chicken, and you let me know what you think of what really isn't um, like
Well,
it's really an American only thing. It's like a whinge for you. It's orange chicken for the US.
nice. Um, yeah, I would say, like, by the sounds of it, it might have nothing to do with the World Fair.
Nothing to do with the World Fair. It just looks like maybe it loosely does because
Yeah,
it's
like,
like the World Fair is going on and here's our food
oh,
from the world.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe they have something better than the orange chicken, which I wouldn't go. Like maybe they have something from other. I'm sure they have other things from other places. But yeah, man, uh, just
Yeah, look, if
exciting.
it's there, the first thing you say, 7-Eleven.
That's
Done.
right.
I will,
Gonna be. Please don't hate me after eating it. Just you're gonna like.
just
I'm
get a
gonna leave a
message,
message
not
right now.
happy.
We're done, Mike. We're done. No more.
Uh,
Uh,
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, so, well, geez, before the trip, so I'm gonna lose most probably a couple of kilos to,
that's why we're
to
not on video yet, buddy. I've started to try to lose some, and man, I got a long way to go before I can go
nah,
back
you
to
look
Japan.
fine, you look fine. No, it's
Oh,
just because 'cause I'm gonna be eating up a storm again,
yeah,
so,
I
yeah,
have been.
I don't wanna come
That's the
back.
I always struggle when I'm not going to Japan with my weight because I have
Mhm.
like don't have I. It's harder for me to find the motivation to lose it. When I'm
Mm.
going, I'm like, I got to fit in the plane seat, so let's go. you know. My friends made fun of me when I was like, I want to say a good 50 pounds lighter than I am right now. They were making fun of my weight. When I went this last time, they're just like, oh, I'm just like, I know what you're saying, right? So, but
Nah, you look
yeah,
fine, you look good, so.
we'll do it. Well, I'll do it, buddy. We'll get our videos back. That's not why, but like it's one of those things. I'm like, maybe it's not such a bad thing right now. Have you played any? I forget if you had like any of the Like a Dragon or Yakuza games.
Oh, I briefly played, the Yakuza.
Well, when you're in Osaka, you can
Mhm.
actually go to um, uh, one of the inspirations for Goro, who's one of the characters in there, Goro Majima's Cabaret Grand. It's in Osaka. It is a cabaret like night type of thing. Um, and you could go there. It's from the game. Was like the inspiration of the game. And it is the Grand Cabaret Miss Osaka is the name of it.
Okay.
And so there are a lot of hostess bars that are in that area where they can sit and chat with people that are there. Um, you know, in English though, like they say, it might be a little bit old fashioned, but it's basically one of those cabaret, like like a club where you just go in and you could sit and chat with people for money and have them play drinks or things. If you maybe you can find somebody who's English speaking, just have kind of a cool thing, kind of a cool experience with you and your partner, just to be like, hey, this is something we did, uh, like on our trip, not for any large length of time.
Mhm.
But I would think you need to have some sort of Japanese for here, but just kind of cool that you could actually go to this for fans of the show and actually be in the location for something that was inspiration to the show. And I guess it's been open since 1937.
Oh,
So
really?
87 years of service, and just kind of cool, like just seeing something again that was from a game and actually, real life stuff, my man.
Mm, that sounds pretty cool.
But
Yeah.
no, yeah, yeah, no. But otherwise, my friend, we'll figure this out. So what I'd like to do is I gotta hop off here and go grab something for my son because he's working late, unfortunately, tonight, and he won't be able to get there before they close. So, um, I'm gonna call this. Can't really see how long we've been recording this time, and I
53
can't.
minutes.
Okay, okay. So we're gonna pause it here, my friend, and get back together next time. Like I said, we'll talk you, me, Maurice. I'll send something out here shortly just to see some dates that work so we can get it out as far out in advance as we possibly can. Uh, but but David, thank you for getting up early today
No,
and
yeah, when you
joining me.
text me, I was still in bed. I was like, "Oh boy," because I thought we were starting 11 here. So, um,
We'll figure out our times. It's what's throwing me off right now, buddy, is we had
oh no,
daylight
it's fine.
savings.
Yeah, yeah,
Daylight
yeah,
savings, so it's messed with our hours. So we'll figure out what our times actually are again, and we'll go
No,
from there.
look, well, pretty much when we do these episodes, I have nothing going for the day. Always make sure that there's nothing. So,
The only thing I'm going to be doing after this, I'm going to go, like I said, go pick up something for my son, and then I'm going to go run. Uh, Grab that, come back, make some tacos for my daughter, and dinner, late dinner. She's
mhm.
been patiently waiting, and then I'm going to be painting some plastic models for the Warhammer. I'll have to tell you about my Warhammer continued losses. I am not second place or third place or fourth place. I'm more of a Ofer place,
Yeah,
but I still had fun doing it. But I'll show you
yeah.
what I'm doing, my man. I'll show you what I'm doing. But um, thanks again, my friend. Thanks for joining. And on
So, thank you for
behalf of
having me.
anytime, dude. Like I said, I just like we could just chat and hang out, and which is what we do,
Yeah,
and
look,
I love it. So,
it's definitely fun. So,
no, man. On behalf of Lost Without Japan and the entire crew, uh, both David and I'd like to thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you on board again for our next episode that comes out in 2 weeks as we discuss Japan, travel, culture, and your Lost Without moments. To everyone out there, oh, ginky day. Stay well, my friends.
all right, have a good one.